It is Grammy season, and there's a lot of buzz in the music world, plus a hot new artist we need to know about.
So let's go on the record with Apple Music's Zane Lowe. Zane, okay.
Zane, we love it when you're here.
This is your season. Grammy nominations are out. Let's talk album. Let's talk about album of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's Beyonce's to take home, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, 99 career nominations, breaking the record. We all love Cowboy Carter on this show.
Yes.
Are there bigger Beyonce albums in terms of scale, size, and streams and numbers and all that? Yes. But this could be one of the most, if not the most important records she's put out.
I mean, what's in the running with her, you think?
Oh, I think Taylor should always be considered for that. Every album she makes is borderline perfect. And I think Billie Eilish's album continues to really reach people.
Right.
It's between those three, I think, if it's up to me, but I'd be shocked if Beyonce doesn't win this.
Yeah, we think it's Beyonce's too. Okay, Song of the Year, what stood out to you?
This is the bear pit of all bear pits this year. I do not want to get in the middle of these 8 artists. I mean, every one of these songs, everybody who's up for this award is incredible.
Who's nominated? Who are the people?
Oh, it's Chapel Roan, Sabrina Carpenter. It's Shaboozey. It's Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. It's Taylor Swift and Post Malone. I mean, it's Beyonce.
What song is Beyonce nominated for? Texas Hold'em.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that's a toss-up to you.
Who do you think is going to take it?
Oh, man, it's so tough. If I'm going to flip a coin, I think it's between Sabrina, I think it's between Chapel Roan, and I think Taylor, Beyonce, Billie. Those are the 5.
Okay, all right, let's talk about
those are the 5.
Yeah, exactly.
It's between 8.
Thank you for narrowing it down.
All right, let's talk best new artist.
Yeah, it's a good one.
A lot of people in this category.
Hot.
Chapel Roan is fire lately.
Yeah, she is 100% on fire at the moment, and we were talking about that just as we were coming to air, and how every festival she's playing, she's shutting down other stages, and her momentum is huge. The music is incredible. I mean, I would love to see her win that award. Same thing with Sabrina, Shaboozey, who we all love.
Wait, what song is she nominated for? Pink Pony Club?
Well, for Best New Artist, it's just for
it's just
for the
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But
which is so interesting because also these artists have been at it for a long time. You know, I mean,
that is the thing about Best New Artist that people kind of get a little bit twisted about. They get upset about the fact that, and I understand it. Like a band like Khruangbin have been putting out records for a while, but I'm such an enormous Khruangbin fan that as far as the rest of the world are concerned, if they've had a breakthrough moment, then and that's how you categorize Best New Artist.
Oh, is it a breakthrough moment? Is that what it is?
I think so
kind of, because Chapel Roan's been doing this for a bit. Sabrina Carpenter
It's kind of unfair also to artists, I think, in this day and age to be expected to do it within a sort of, it has to be your first year or your first song.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you do anything sometimes in a year these days?
That's true.
So
let's talk Lady Gaga. She's got a single everybody's talking about.
Yeah, well, dark pop Gaga's back. Look at it. I mean, she's incredible. She looks fantastic. The music's amazing. And
Is this for the film she's in?
No, this is separate. So she's been feeding us. I mean, it's been Gaga season already. She came out and obviously was in the film. Then she created a companion piece album that kind of was inspired by the film, which was sort of almost like an extension of the work that she's done with the late great Tony Bennett in the past, kind of leaning into that sort of bigger sound, jazzy sound. And now she's just in full LG7 mode.
Well, she sort of formed a lot of these other singers a little bit, right? Charlie XCX. There's a bunch of them who kind of took a page from Gaga, you think, or?
Definitely, and I think, I love that you mentioned that, and also let's talk about Billie for a second on that level. Someone like Billie Eilish, even at the age of 22, has to be one of the most influential artists on the planet.
Totally.
Same thing with Gaga. You talk about these artists and the impact they have on other art. You see it now in their lifetime. So Gaga's going to be sharing stages with people who would 100% consider her a major.
It also seems like it's the year of women in pop, right?
It's been like that for a while, and rightfully so. I mean, the music that's coming out now from new artists inspired by artists, like I said, just a couple of years older than them or a couple of years down the road from them. You're seeing female artists now just putting out incredible music. They have been forever, but finally I feel like the world has caught up.
But you're right, though. I'm trying to think of male artists that are out and prominent right now.
Yeah, Bruno Mars, maybe, Shaboozey, but you're
Bruno's having a good season, even though he hasn't got anything out that kind of is a full length album or anything. He keeps sort of touching these great projects.
Yeah, he's got something.
Whenever he does something, it's like, I feel like in my mind, Bruno walks in the studio and they go, "Bruno's here, would you like to?" And he's like Ron Burgundy, he just pulls out a guitar, he's like, "If you insist." And he just jams on something, you know?
Totally. Okay, let's talk about this artist out of the UK that you want all of us to pay attention
to. Which camera do I talk to? Who do I talk to? This
here,
one? All right, this is your favorite recommendation from someone you've never met and should probably have no reason to listen to or trust, but trust me on this. Her name is Cleo Sol, and I'm talking to you guys as well. Her music is just phenomenal. It is healing and uplifting and beautiful. And I like to say to my friends, who've never heard Cleo, all you need is to know that her music exists and your life will improve. Ooh. She's unbelievable. She has, and the beautiful thing is that when we do recommendations like this, often there's not a lot to kind of get into. It's like there's one song or an album. Cleo has 4 albums out right now.
What?
Yeah.
So
4
she's been
amazing
at it
albums.
for a while?
For a minute. And it's not that, you know, it's not fair on us to assume that we should know about Cleo. She's been moving at a very deliberate pace. She doesn't extend herself into areas that aren't meaningful to her. And so every time she puts a record out or does anything, it's from the heart and from the soul, which means that when we hear it, it speaks to our heart and to our soul.
Wow.
God, it feels like music we know.
That
The
was
most
awesome.
amazing Cleo Soul playlist, which I made for myself. Can I share it with
Yes,
you?
please. Will you share
I would love it.
Yeah, I will.
Where will you share?
Thank you,
Where
Zane.
will you share it with us on our
Apple Music.
Insta
I was
or
going to ask for your
somewhere?
numbers, but that's kind of weird on the air, isn't it? It's sort of weird.
We'll
Sure,
give you-
it's like
we'll give it to you.
424.
Hoda's actually done that before.
I have.
you-
You can catch Zane's full interview with Cleo on Apple Music now.